Good morning, good afternoon, good night to wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to another episode of our podcast brought to you by RCB College. Today's topic is nostalgia for our homeland, or you can also say homeland versus hostland. For today's guest, we have our very own medical office and unit clerk instructor, Mr. Mehran. Mr. Mehran, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me here and having a second podcast together. I hope that's going to be helpful, such information that we share with other people, especially newcomers and refugees, to let them know that the life is not ended.
For sure. So let's jump right in. Let's just start with the overall any specific experiences or nostalgia that you feel when you come into a different country.
Yeah, of course. First of all, I would like to talk about the significance on home. Home. There is an analogy that I can share with you that the home is akin to a mom. Mom give us security, safety, and when we attach to mom, we feel more secure and okay, oriented, and so on. That's a very important contribution the mom has in children's life and mental health and well-being. People say, and I mean the scholars, believe that the country that you are living and you are born, and homeland, and home itself, particularly home, has play a role like mother in people's life. That's why people being at home are more secure and they attach to their home, and significance of home is very clear. So when they move to another country, it seems that they are uprooted, right? They're cut off from mother, home, the secure attachment, and of course it creates some issues psychologically, and you're facing, the difficulties, adversaries with not support, psychological support, internal support, and inner support. That's why it seems they are wandering and no one protect them. And it is a kind of an unpleasant feeling that we feel.
Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah, exactly. Because home is not just a place, that it is not just a physical place. It's intertwined with your culture, your identity, your orientation, your feeling, and the feeling of prosperity and success. The home is a kind of a thing that you are belonging to. When you want to take a rest, restore your energy, and coming back from a battle, you're searching and looking for home, right? That's why imagine a person like immigrant, refugees, and newcomers. They are far from their home. That's why they don't have a place to go back and take a rest and restore. I'm talking about the symbolic concept of home. You may have a home in a new country, the host country, but it's not playing, psychologically the same role of your home and homeland.
The difference between a house and a home.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are many things. Home is a heaven, is a shelter, but house is just a place that you can stay for short time or long time.
Sweet. Yeah. So what would be the specific experiences led to the feelings of nostalgia?
The nostalgia means you are longing and mourning for what you lack, what you've actually lost. And the nostalgia is a psychological feature very similar to depression. You're looking for something. Always your eyes open to something happen new and receiving the information and news from your wherever you're coming from. That is a kind of a nostalgic experience. The nostalgia means you want to go back to the past. You want to go back to your root. You want to go back to something that's supported. You want to go back to something that makes you secure and safe. Nostalgia is an unpleasant, negative psychological feeling that people don't want to stay longer in a new place and want to go back. That's why, because they are not able to go back, especially refugees, that they are the diasporic, and that's a diasporic experience for them, and they are not able to go back to the country due to the different issues like economic crisis, war. They are exiled to a new country. They are, forced to be in a new country and they cannot go back. Unfortunately, they're always feeling depressed. And imagine the positive points of Homeland. That is the problem, Every place has a negative and positive features. But when you move to a new country, you're only thinking about the positive point of Homeland and you forget the negative points. And it causes and it exacerbate the issue and make the issue worse because you cannot adjust easily. Since you're thinking of the positive feature of your homeland, you cannot see the positive feature of a host land. That is the paradox. And you're always mourning and longing for what you cannot catch, what you cannot obtain, what you cannot touch again. That is the main factor that causes nostalgia.
So, talking about those positive memories,
Mm.
how do you reconcile the positive memories of your homeland with the challenges that you faced at your homeland as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a kind of a coping strategy that we recommend refugees and newcomers to do. We understand that the new country comes with the different rituals, heritages, and the norms. But finally, you need to make a strategy and keep the strategy that helps you to adjust and adapt to new life. Otherwise, you will face a cultural shock, and finally, cultural shock ends to give rise depression. And when you are depressed, you cannot be a successful person, right? A member of a community, and you cannot achieve your goal and accomplish your life as you want to. So it stops you from success. So that's why we recommend them different strategies. One of them is rebuild a new attachment. I know you are not attached, you detach from, with your homeland, right? Okay, now it's time to make decision. Do you know how to rebuild a new attachment? Building a new attachment means create a kind of a family or something that you had in your homeland in a new country, a new environment. And it's very difficult. It's a big challenge. Do you know why? Because they are not familiar with the new heritage and rules and culture, and also they don't want to be away from their own culture. There is a strategy that we recommend people to do. That's a biculturalism. Means you should not totally away from your country and ethnic groups. Okay, you can build a group of people from your ethnic group and keep in touch with them, hanging out with them. But the problem is that I want to share it here. Newcomers normally holding a negative attitude toward fellows. I mean the country fellows. They don't like to attach them because they had a negative experience with their homeland that they forced them to move to new countries. That's why they're coming to the new countries with a negative point of view, negative attitude toward homeland, whatever they had. Maybe they came from a jail and prison, right? And apply for being refugee in new country and home country. That's why it makes a paradox, the kind of a conflict, which is called in psychology approach avoidance. They need to attach fellows, but they avoid them, and it increases the psychological depression and a problem, right? So we need to train newcomers to not avoiding your previous experiences and your own culture, ethnic group. You bring them into the new country and try to mix with the new culture and the cultural point of a new country and a host country. All right, there are 4 strategies. If you don't mind, I want to share with you.
For sure, yes, please go ahead.
There are 4 strategies that 3 of them are not working. Only one of them is working. The first strategy is avoiding your ethnic groups and completely observing a new cultural point. I mean, the host cultural point is not working because you finally, uprooted, and you're finally longing and feeling, isolated, disoriented, and dislocated. This strategy is not working. The second strategy is avoiding the host country the host cultural point and only maintain your home cultural point. This one also is not working because people consider you as adversary, as not very friendly, and they don't consider you as a friend, and they never touch with you and observe you and include you into the culture. This is the second wrong strategy that we can see in refugees and newcomers, because they are not familiar with the best culture, the best strategy to manage their own acculturation.
Right.
The third one is avoiding both. Oh, people that are very depressed, stay at home, staying in bed, and never taking any action, avoiding a new culture and also away from their own culture. This one also is not working. That is the wrong strategy. We can see commonly these three strategies taken by newcomers and especially refugees. That's why they become depressed and, abandoned by others and not attended by new culture.
Right.
But the last one, which is called integration, that's or biculturalism. And we need to set the goal for helping newcomers and also locals in order to facilitate this kind of a strategy, because it needs to work on it. We need to organize a workshop. We need to run the classes. We need to attract newcomers to teach them how to do. It is not as easy as do it as usual. So integration needs coexistence intelligence in locals. What is the meaning of coexistence intelligence? That is a subcategory of cultural intelligence. I believe if we want to see people practice the integration strategy, means observing a new culture, mixing with the past culture, the home culture, and creating new symbols, roles, routines, and the behavior. It takes time to get it. So locals better to be prepared for accepting unexpected behaviors in newcomers. That is a kind of a cognitive awareness, I believe, that the people should be aware how to accept what they are not expecting to see in newcomers, because we should not expect newcomers and refugees to behave according to the new culture, as they move to the host country. That's why we need to prepare locals with the different tools that in our hands, even a workshop, radios, the TV channels, programs, and so on. We have several resources in our hand that teach locals to be flexible. Flexible for what?
In accepting the other culture.
Yeah, exactly. Accepting what is not very compatible with what you expect to see. Be open to something strange and weird sometimes.
And be patient as well.
Be patient and let them do, because they are adjusting to something new, right?
Yeah. They're starting from scratch. They're adjusting
Yeah.
to the new environment.
Excellent. That is because the coin has two sides, locals and newcomers, and the communication between these two group of people. That's why we need to prepare locals to be prepared. That's the kind of demand. Be prepared for what it show up shouldn't be completely and approving and confirming your expectation, right? This is the point. And in terms of another side of the coin, which is newcomers, refugees, we need to tell them, hey, you are a creative human in the world. You are a creative creature. You can create a third movement, the third things. You shouldn't just, stick to your own home culture, heritage, norms, and symbols, but you need to learn new norms, rules, rituals, heritage, and the cultural point, but mix both of them and create a new thing that is very interesting for everyone to see, because you can understand that you are a very specific, special creature in the world. You are, because of the cortex. and your brain can create something new that everyone become surprised and proud of you and appraise you and admire you. This is what we can transfer to newcomers, And finally, the goal is improving cognitive awareness, or what is called coexistence intelligence. In psychology, we define intelligence as the way we can adjust to everything. We can solve difficulties, the best decision making, right? It's called intelligence. How to solve the issues. We need to make newcomers and locals clever, smart, to have effective communication together, accepting, being flexible and accepting unexpected things in the society by locals, and being flexible, open to new experiences for newcomers.
I know, Mr. Milan, you're a very busy man. I won't take much of your time. Let's just wrap it up with this one last question. How can we improve and promote the host land as the homeland?
All right, people looking for a heaven, a shelter, a place that, having a very emotional tie to those places, because there is a very strong relationship between the people and place, according to the new theories. I want to share with you the research finding, and 60% of people, then when they want to kill themselves, they prefer to kill themselves and commit suicide at home. Why? Because the home is a place that's protecting them. They can hide the secrets, and they can maintain their own privacy. So, for improving and promoting a new place to be a own place, I want to share with you another feeling in human being. When you go to your friend's house, you prefer to go back home, and because you are more comfortable to stay in your home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's a human sociobiologic needs.
Yeah.
Need for home, a shelter that is kind of a heaven, right?
Where you can be yourself.
Yeah, you can be yourself. You can maintain your privacy. You can do whatever you want. Even a wrong activity, can do at home, right? Whatever it is,
because you feel safe.
I notice that the people, for example, are using drug, they prefer to use at home, not in the street, because it's more safe, and you don't want to share everything with other people. Okay, I am having a question now. Is the host country can give newcomers the chance to share, to maintain their privacy, to maintain their secret, wherever, right? Improving and promoting sense place means giving them time to get familiar with the place, to find a secret place for having whatever they want, for doing whatever they want, and being safe. That's promoting a sense of new place. There are many strategies that we don't have time to share now. But the most important thing is that we have to consider it and keep it in our mind, give them chance to consider it as the place for doing secret, right? It convert and transform the host country to the home country. Means it is your own place, right? Imagine you give your friend, the confined room, that you say, this is your room as long as you are here in my house. Whatever you do, free, and you help yourself, and I never interrupt you, never knock the door, and this is your place. Your friend will feel that is his own home, right?
All right. Thank you so much for coming in, Mr. Miran.
You're most welcome.
If you guys have any thoughts or you want to share some of your feelings, just let us know in the comments. And till next time, see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for inviting me to this talk.
For sure. Well, we hope that we have many more podcasts coming in the future as well.
Yeah, if God willing, yes.
100%. Thank you.